Today we're announcing Adobe's Creative Cloud Pen and Digital Ruler, Adobe Ink and Slide.
So tell me what this is made out of. Is this brushed aluminum? It looks
Yeah.
like something that Apple would make.
Yeah, so it's actually an anodized aluminum body that's made through a process called hydroforming. Yeah, so it has this beautiful triangle twist. Hydroforming is a process that's typically used for manufacturing things like kitchen faucets or bicycle frame tubes, where you need a interesting bend or twist in the part. You actually feed a tube into a mold and then force very high pressure water at like 120 tons of pressure to pop the tube into the shape of the mold.
Right. So why a separate case that you have to, carry this around in?
Yeah. So the case has two purposes actually.
Okay.
The pen is powered, it has a battery inside, so it's an active capacitive stylus, and so the battery needs to be charged periodically.
Okay.
The case is both a charging dock, so it has the contact pins in here for charging. You pop this in and it's got a magnet to slide in, and then it's got a USB connector on the back. And then also you unplug it, throw this in your bag, and then you're going to keep it from getting scratched or dinged if it rattles around with your keys or anything like that.
Okay. Let's actually get to looking at how this works on the iPad. Sure. So what app are we looking at right now?
So we're looking at a brand new app called Adobe Line that just released today, the same time as Ink and Slide. The way this works is Adobe Ink is powered. It's a capacitive powered stylus. As long as it's powered on, you can draw on the screen in this app or really in any app. Right. You can even use it for tapping buttons or navigating your OS. But it also has a Bluetooth antenna. And so if I connect via Bluetooth, once it's connected, it will give additional functionality. So we'll have pressure sensitivity, so that I can draw very fine strokes or harder strokes and get different levels of pressure. And it communicates with the app so that it brings up special interface. Right. So a lot of the times when I'm drawing, I want to put away all of the UI, get it out of the way.
Especially on a screen that's about 10 inches long.
Yeah, exactly. So through Bluetooth, a single click on this button brings up what we call the pen tip menu. And now I get access to my favorite tools and colors and shapes all right here at the tip of my pen.
Right. What's this for?
This is a digital ruler, and the basic thing that a digital ruler does, or a ruler, is let you draw straight lines.
Right.
And that's why we call this a straight line drawing app. Mm-hmm. But what we realized was it's digital, so it can do a lot more. If we just have a single button on here, we can choose different shapes. You'll see if I click this button, I can switch to circles and squares and triangles. And each of those can be manipulated. So I can enlarge the circle and then all of a sudden draw an arc. I can take the triangle and draw either a full triangle or just an angle. And as we explored further, we realized that we could expand that to other types of shapes. So again, I click my pen tip menu, bring up my shape tool, and I can do more complex things like French curves. Now when I put this down on the screen, I get a French curve that I can start to draw with.
Wow, so does that have to sync with the iPad?
So this one actually doesn't have any direct communication with the iPad, and it doesn't have any power. You'll notice that there's no USB connector. The way it works is by creating a capacitive coupling between your hand and the screen. Each of these shapes actually has the ability to trace, or in some cases stamp. So I can double tap on the screen and it will stamp the shape in place. And actually for the more complex shapes, like we did a nice collaboration with the Herman Miller company, I can choose my Herman Miller sofas, and I can actually stamp a Herman Miller sofa, iconic sofa, right in the middle of the screen.
Wow.
So Adobe Line is really around this notion of shapes and drawing with shapes and precision drawing and aligning objects, where it's going towards more drafting and precision. We have another app called Adobe Sketch, also released on the same day. And this is really a simple sketching app that is inspired by the community of Behance. So the very first thing you'll experience when you bring up Adobe Sketch is not just your own sketches, but sketches created by other people using the same app and shared on Behance and curated in this Behance gallery. For the user interface and the tools, we really wanted to give a very common tool set. So you'll see that it has roughly the same set of brushes and shapes, etc. It is more limited in the direction of precision and shapes, and more pushing in the direction of expressive drawing and sharing with the community.
Will some of the more advanced features on the Ink and Slide be available in third-party apps, for instance?
They will eventually. We're starting to build an SDK program.
So why is Adobe getting into hardware now?
Workflows are changing from working at your desk and with your desktop computer to being mobile. And we've seen a lot of people wanting to use mobile devices, tablets, and especially the iPad, really as a digital sketchbook. It's a need that is clear, but it's unmet because the tools really aren't there, especially a precision pen, which is what people really want to draw with.
So for a professional artist who's used to, say, using a separate stylus for their Photoshop use on a computer, why would they buy this in addition to that?
So they probably still will use that stylus with their computer. Maybe they have a Wacom digitizing tablet or maybe even a Cintiq. And that's what they're going to use when they're working at their desktop or with their laptop in their workspace. But when they want to go out and about and use their iPad for sketching, either riffing on a project or getting started on a project, that's where they need a stylus that's really made for the iPad.
If I wanted to pick this up, where could I get it? Can I go to a Best Buy, or is it available through?
They're available now online through adobe.com.
Great. And how much will that be?
$199.99.
So thank you so much for showing me this today. Can't wait to see what artists put it to use for.
Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it.
Thanks.